Right, hello. It's Deb. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to show you a March makes video because apparently that's a thing. So I made a few things this month, a couple of pattern tests, a pair of trousers and a couple of pairs of pyjamas. Mostly been about pyjamas, to be honest with you. So we'll start with what I'm wearing. I'll put in a still because I can't work out how to move cameras and things. So I'll put in a still that shows what I've got on, which is this, which is my pattern test, first pattern test. This is a Whitcomb top by SewLove Patterns. And hopefully I'll manage to somewhere insert a line drawing or and I'll put a link in the description box down below. So SewLove Patterns, I've made some of their patterns before. I've made the spring, spelled S-P-R-I-N-G-E, jumpsuit and dress, and I love both of those. And so when Joanna was pattern testing, I thought it would be a nice thing to do. And this pattern is really interesting. So it comes in a variety of options. So I made one of the other options, so I'll show you that as well. But essentially we've got these kind of puff sleeves that come into a band, and a raglan sleeve, and then it's gathered in at the neck at the front. And so the woven version has a facing, and the knit version has a band, and you could also do a combination of the two, so you could do a woven bodice and then a knit band, which would be a really nice option, I think, to do with like a rib band. There's one of those in my head somewhere to happen at some point. So the other version, apart from what I've got on, is a knit version. Now this material was came from Girl Charlie when Girl Charlie was here, so this has been in my stash for quite a long time. And you can see it's got like a wide band on the bottom of the hem. Now I made the short version in both of these just because I'm so short-waisted, but actually ended up pulling at this a little bit today when I've worn it. Now I think this is a really interesting pattern because there's so many options for it. You could make so many different varieties of item with different fabrics and end up with a completely different looking garment. Both of these are probably not destined for me to keep. I really rarely wear black. This black fabric was a remnant from something that I made for a curate friend of mine. So I made a Nina Lee Park Lane dress, which she could put a colour in. So this was just a little bit that was left over, so I thought I may as well give it a go. And I'd made some black trousers, which I'll insert the picture in again, which are another of the makes from this week. So I've worn those today because I'm in my my other job. Now these I've had on today and they are absolutely filthy. This is one of the reasons, and partly because I look so unwell in black, but partly because it shows every single bit of fluff and cotton thread and anything of anything shows up, doesn't it? So these are the Fibremood Opals, and they are, you can see, they're completely plain fronted, plain backed, no pockets, no darts, and just a zip in the side. And I've used a metal zip just because well, just because I've learned that they're the ones that don't give way when I'm trying to shove the world and his dog into them. So these are, as I said, really plain, made with just a cheap black cotton twill. They are not a lovely make at all, but I think it definitely could be, actually. And I think they're literally like half an hour to sew up. So like there's no like they could quite easily, you could make them in lots of different fabrics and have them for a work wardrobe or a college wardrobe or whatever, and they fit really nicely across the back, even though, like I say, there's no shaping. It's bizarre. I'd seen a beautiful pair of floral ones that Jen Legg had made, and I messaged her to say, do these fit as well as they look like they fit? And she was like, yeah, I don't know how, but they do. So not just me that's had good luck with those. So that's a really simple go-to pattern, which I think I've got some twill with that I've had forever, which has got great with pandas on, which I'm slightly thinking I might make a pair of wide leg panda pants. But we'll see if that one goes the way of some of my other plans. Right. make number 3 was the Nocturne Pyjamas by Sewliberated. Now, Sewliberated is a pattern company that's been around forever, a lady called Meg McElwee, who has the most lovely style and the most lovely manner, and is just generally a really inspirational maker and person and mum. And she's got a really interesting story if you don't know it, so I would encourage you to go and kind of have a look at her stuff if you're not familiar. I've made some of her patterns before, including the Light and Duster, and so when this pattern came out, I was really keen to get it. So it's sold in 2 parts, so there's a top and a bottom, and I'll insert the line drawings, and the top can be made of different sleeve lengths, but essentially is a woven top with a fitted yoke, a notched front yoke, and then softly gathered into the body. And the trousers are very plain, woven, although you could probably do them in a light knit, with pockets and a waistband, and 2 options, one being a paper bag waist and the other being a kind of standard waisted pattern. So the first thing that I made was a toile of both. So I made a toile of the bottoms in this really sweet, I think it was something like a linen cotton blend with a little bit of stretch in it. It's been in my stash for ages because, again, it's another colour that I can't really wear, even though I loved it, and I love this blue colour, but I can't wear this colour. So I kept kind of pulling it out and trying it with things, and just it looked dreadful. So I thought what I'll do is make pyjama bottoms out of it, because then I just get all the lovely softness of the fabric without having to worry about what it looks like by my face. Because mostly I'll be wearing it with a vest top. So you can see this is the version that has the paper bag waist, so it has that frill top. Now, I'm not normally a person for a paper bag waist because I'm so short-waisted and I kind of haven't got a lot of space. I'm going to show you my very cute little label that went in there, which says "Eat, Sleep, Sew," which is the mantra for my life, ideally. Now, the only change I had to make to these was they have these enormous pockets, and essentially because I made them as shorts, I had to chop them, but you can see if I push it right down, the pocket pokes in front of where the leg of the trouser is. When I'm wearing them, that doesn't happen. And these are really comfy to wear. They have a really thick elastic waistband, so they're really soft, and are plenty big. Sorry, next door's dog's barking. So having made that version, I made a toile of the top as well, and I made this in a single cotton gauze that came from Lottie at Wild Orchid Fabrics. I think she has got a bit of a sale on at the moment, so I'll link her channel down below as well. So this was the first version of the top that I made, and you can see that I added a little bit of embroidery just to kind of just because you can have a plain fabric, obviously. So I did these little daisies, and then there's one on the back as well. Now, obviously, if I was going to really embroider a genuine one of these, I would do it before I made up the fabric into the garment, so that I didn't have the slightly untidy inside. But I think if I'm asleep, I can cope with a slightly untidy inside of my garment. I also didn't French seam these. I did them, finish the seams on my overlocker, because I wanted them to last, but I'm not really so bothered about them being pristine. This is made as like their easy pattern, and I think they've got some steps and things that go with it, but she kind of gives you options for finish things in a kind of clean way inside if you want to, but doesn't give the instructions to those. So that meant that I ended up trying to burrito this front, because I didn't engage my brain, tried to burrito this through here, and painfully that did not work. So the second one I made, I did a burrito on the back, but on the front I then just hand sewed it down. But this is a really comfy top to wear. It fits really nicely across the front chest, and meant that I was kind of happy to go on and commit to my proper fabric. So I've said this before, I'm a bit of a serial don't sew the precious, so I do my toile and then I don't go on and make the precious fabric version of the same thing, but I did this time. So what I had in my possession, I won't say stash because actually I only bought it 2 months ago, so it's probably one of the most recent additions to my fabric. So I made, and I will put pictures of these up as well, I made again the top and a pair of long bottoms in this very pretty, I don't know whether this will show up or not, I'll put a still in if it doesn't, a Tele brunette single cotton gauze, which has the most beautiful sunrises or sunsets on. I added this tag from the Kylie Machine Christmas labels, which says dream it to make it, and these ones are French seamed, mostly because I was really worried about this fabric not being able to manage with the life that I might put it through. Gosh, that sounds dodgy. I don't mean that I do something exciting in my pyjamas really, but you know what I mean. You tend to kind of do the washing and do the breakfast and tidy up and da-da-da-da-da. And if I've not got a work day, then oftentimes I might do my yoga with my pyjamas. So my pyjamas have to be fit. So virtually no issues with making these because obviously I've done the toiles, which there's a lesson, hey. These are French seamed, as I say, and I will almost certainly make another version of the top, not to be a pyjama top, because actually I really like how this sits. And I showed in my first vlog a month ago some Nanny Hero linen that I think might make a really nice one, but we'll see. And then the only other thing that I made was a present, and I'll put in some video about that present, which I think has got narration on it. This is the Helens Closet Dressing Robe, which has been made as a gift for a friend of mine who's retiring. We shared an office in the emergency department for 14 years, so I thought it would be sensible to have something for her to swish about in beautifully. I've French seamed it inside and added a label. This is a really nice pattern, but it's no longer available, unfortunately. It has a belt and belt loops, and the ties sewn in at the back. Sorry, this mannequin is my mannequin and the person it's being made for is substantially smaller than I am. So I'm hoping it's going to fit. If I can, I'll insert some images of her wearing it. Oh, I did forget one. So I had literally scraps left over of that pink floral fabric that I made the first pair of Nocturne shorts in, and so I had to make the first Ogden cami of the year. I think literally I had about less than 50 centimetres of this fabric, and so it literally was, the facings were pieced together from like literally scraps. Another video soon. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now.